So are you losing sales at hello? And hello, my name's Eli. If you've been following me any length of time, you know that I've been on the road for better part of a decade and a half, off and on with my mentor, and we would have the same script, same product, same price point, same everything in the same area, but I would often outsell people. And so in this short video, I want to walk you through some aspects of subconscious communication, how we communicate authority, how we show up and get somebody to listen to us, not just on video. Video is really important. And if you're on sales calls, doing them on Zoom is critical. But I realize for most of you, you can't be on Zoom. A lot of sales calls are done over the phone. And so these tips are really going to help you show up more powerfully. And I'm going to give you some exercise, some exact things you're going to want to do and implement and make a part of your daily routine. Just like you shower, have breakfast, brush your teeth, hopefully, or go to the gym and condition yourself. These will be aspects of your communication where you can condition yourself to show up more powerfully. I'm good friends with a guy named Chase Hughes. We did an event, and this guy is like the top, negotiator, body language expert. There's a YouTube channel, the behavior panel. Him and four of the top five behavior analyst, body language experts break down videos of people and really show you some of the different tells. And it's some of these aspects of communication might be your tell that tells people that you're not as confident as you could be. And so, as I said, you can have two people, myself, or when I sold against a team, I would outperform them with the same script, same product, same all of that. And what a lot of new closers or newbie salespeople want to shift immediately when they get stuck or they're in a rut or they're not closing as at the level that they could, they always focus on what do they say. And my buddy Chase broke it down to me like this. Said, say that you saw someone get into a nice restaurant when it was previously all filled up, or got a bump to first class. They went to that stewardess, they went to that maitre d', and they said something, and they often get their way. This has been true for me. I've gotten myself into and out of a lot of trouble with understanding these techniques. But what you need to realize is this. Yes, the words are important. Communication is about 7% words, but it has a lot to do with our body language, our tonality, our voice, how we communicate as an authority. Being an authority when somebody doesn't know you based on how you show up, how you perceive yourself is absolutely key. And so walk with me mentally through a quick little understanding. And this is what Chase Hughes broke down for me. Brilliant guy. Would love for you to follow him as well. He's had a big impact on me and my sales because just like you, I'm always a student first. And so here's the scenario that he mapped out for me. And I want you to really think about this. Let's imagine that you and I were on the side of the road and there was somebody hurt over there or somebody needed your help. We'd like to think that you and myself and everybody would run over there. But based on social science, the data says no. Most likely, no one will go, but every once in a while, you'll see somebody move in that direction. So if we see somebody moving in that direction, we'll notice them. So the first thing that we need to do is get noticed. And so you cannot influence somebody if you can't really capture their attention. And so sometimes the way you communicate, people are there, but your presence isn't really aligned or powerful enough to capture and hold their presence where they want to listen to you. Maybe you're monotone, maybe you mumble, maybe you're not really connected to what you say. What's going to help you with that is a strong belief in what you're saying and why it's important. If you don't think what you're saying is important, nobody else will as well. And so in this scenario, we see the hurt person over there, and let's imagine somebody starts moving in that direction. We notice, but do we follow them? Maybe, maybe not. And so these 5 criteria, I want you to write these down if you will, and I'm just going to tell them to you right now. The first is movement. We notice how somebody moves, their posture, their eye contact. And if you think about somebody who's scattered and all over the place, they're chaotic in their movement. But when you think of an authority, like a CEO, or James Bond, if you will, he even blinks slowly. And I'm naturally an excited person. I do get really excited. And I think that that can translate well into sales calls some of the time, usually not. Because as it relates to sales, well, usually there's only two types of people that are excited, super excited to talk to you and all pumped up, excited to talk to you. One is maybe your family. Second is salespeople. And I don't know about you, but my family's never that excited to talk to me. So if somebody's super excited and all pumped up, usually that's a salesperson, and we've all been conditioned by that. So I know a lot of sales strategy says, hey, be all pumped up and excited, enthusiasm sells. Maybe in the 70s and 80s, maybe the 90s, but those tactics are outdated. And especially today with the way that we market and the way we sell and the way that this market, this online media and sales platform has been saturated, usually when somebody's super excited and not confident and certain and grounded, it sends a message of neediness or that you're trying to get something. So curb the enthusiasm like Larry David and get grounded. Be aware of your breathing and your posture and get connected to the earth. Like feel your feet on the ground. And when there's a grounded solidness, like a rock, the way that maybe you feel in the presence of your grandfather or somebody that was like solid for you. So to be solid in your communication and have that, even your tonality, a downward inflection. There'll be strength in your communication, which commands attention through your presence. So movement is key. The second is appearance. And yes, even if you're on the phone, how you look matters. How you look to yourself, how you feel. So even if you're selling on the phone, are you groomed? Are you shaved? Do you take care of yourself? Did you comb your hair? And I know a lot of sales reps are closing sales in their underwear and they brag about it. You know, for me personally, I don't feel professional. It's not about wearing a $2,000 suit. It's about looking and feeling the part. And when you dress the part, it does something to you. If you go out wearing a suit or a uniform of some sort, it does something to you. So appearance, and especially, yes, if you're on Zoom, make sure that you don't have a lot of distracting things in the background because people are judging you. So movement and appearance, absolutely key. The third thing that Chase explained was your confidence. Now, if I'm in this example, if somebody starts moving in that direction, we notice if their appearance is good, not dressed like a bum, we're more likely to follow them. And so throughout communication, what you're doing in all of your sales calls is you're connecting and you're building your authority, not by over posturing, talking about how, look at what I do and here's how we do it. It's not that. It's a strength. It's being okay with silence. And so your appearance is big. And then as it relates to confidence, we'll follow someone who's confident. So how do you communicate confidence? Well, right here, if I'm kind of looking all around and scattered in this example, if somebody's moving in that direction towards this hurt person, we see if they're confidently moving, we're more likely to follow. But if they're moving in that direction and they're like this, well, what should we do? What should we do? And they're looking around for answers. When you walk into a room, if you're out networking and you're going to a job interview or whatever it is, there's a feeling that you give when you look into somebody's eyes. If you're kind of looking all around or you can't make eye contact, if you can be strong in your presence and direct, it sends a message of confidence and certainty that puts people at ease. Again, this isn't over posturing, like staring people down. It's a warmth. It's like smiling with your eyes. You're enjoying yourself. Not so serious. And there's 3 levels of certainty that I teach. And one is like uncertain. Second would be like shooting fire cannons out of your butt. Look how confident and certain I am. And then there's the 3rd level of certainty, which is just resolve. Like this calm, assured confidence. Like if I asked you, are you confident that you can tie your shoes? You would say, yeah. Why? Because you've done it a bajillion times. But the challenge with that is that line of thinking, I'm confident because I've done something a lot. Well, if your reason for being confident is that you need to do something a lot of times before you're confident, there's a lot of things you'll never be confident at the first time. And if you're a leader, which you are, most of the things you do as a leader, you're doing for the first time ever for you and for the world. And so how do you generate within maybe it's through visualization, but you need to incorporate a feeling of certainty within yourself and your physiology, what you focus on. You can't be asking yourself all these disempowering questions, a pattern of meaning, because in this communication with somebody, on a sales call or anywhere else in your life, sometimes you're going to make an ask, or sometimes you're going to get on the phone and you're going to get some negative feedback. If you're even in the dating world, or you hop on a call with somebody, their initial response to you, especially if you're cold calling, might not be so positive. And so if you are at the effect of the communication, not at the cause, if you have a disempowering meaning attached to the communication that's coming back at you, you represent it to yourself as bad and that you're less than, or that they don't like you, you break down. You're at the effect. And so we want to be at cause. And a lot of times, especially in your initial reaction or communication with somebody, the feedback might not be so great because you might be an interruption to their day. And so you want to make sure you've got a strong sense of certainty and confidence in who you are and why you're there. And so confidence is absolutely key. The fourth thing Chase mentions is connection. And so if I'm talking to you, but I'm like looking at my phone, I'm connected here and here and here, there needs to be this sense of connection. Absolutely key. And then the fifth, I'll just mention this really quick, is intent. So if your intent is to harm, your intent is to hurt, your intent is to control or manipulate, motive does matter and people will feel it. And so on a sales call, your intent should be to help. I have a friend, Taylor Welch. He broke down the 3 rules of sales. He said that sales is all about helping people get what they want. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know if he came up with it, but brilliant. He's a very smart guy. It's all about helping people get what they want. Second rule of sales, he says, is what people want is usually outside their comfort zone, meaning what they want is something that will make them uncomfortable. And then the third rule of sales is that people will fight like hell to stay in their comfort zone. And so we need to show up powerfully and realize that our intent, it needs to be to help them, not to control them, not to manipulate them. Because again, motive does matter. And so your intention has to be to help, but not in a place where you're like a people pleaser. It's you realize they have a problem. They're stuck in a comfort zone. And so again, those 5 aspects of your communication: movement, appearance, confidence, connection, and intent. And all of this to build certainty. And you want to be able to generate this in your body, because the body doesn't lie. The body communicates more than your words ever can. And that's why 2 people can say the same words to you and have a very different response in somebody's nervous system. Beyond what they're just saying, there's something beneath the surface that must be conditioned and trained. And so quick exercise, quick takeaway for you. In this video has gone a little longer than I wanted, but you need to do some things daily to strengthen your voice. If you're uncomfortable looking in somebody's eyes, there's usually some insecurity there. You need to work on that. If you're erratic in your movements, slow down, breathe, perhaps do some Tai Chi, work on your appearance, and maybe take a picture of yourself and really look at it. If you didn't know that person, or maybe ask a stranger, what do they think of that person based on their appearance alone? Your confidence. You have to daily work on your confidence, and confidence, again, doesn't mean that you're better than people. It's not a external thing. It's got to be an internal thing, inside out, not outside in. Connection. Make sure when you show up that you're truly connected to these people, and your intent should always be to help. Know that they have a problem. Everybody has problems. And the only people that don't have problems are in the graveyard, because we all do. When you have a problem, eventually, if you're lucky and you work really hard, you get a solution, which creates change. And guess what? When you have change, that creates more problems. So it's a never-ending cycle for you, me, and all of us in the world. And guess what? Look around. There are problems everywhere. And at the capacity in which you solve problems will be the capacity at which you get paid. And so we got to show up powerfully. We have to be of value to people. In order to be of value to people through our product, through our service, through our communication, we need to be of value to ourselves. Start seeing yourself as valuable. Anchor in these techniques to show up more powerfully in all of your communication. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and if you're getting some value from this, like, subscribe, do all the stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.